Welcome to Morning Journal. In today's session, I'm kind of thinking about the idea of focus. The prop I want to go into the conversation with is right now I'm focused on blank, or what am I focused on right now? I think it's important to declare that. It might seem like it's an obvious thing, given the circumstances that you might be in the moment. It might be obvious what the most important thing is, what the point of your focus could be. But in a lot of cases, it's important to state the obvious and to clarify the obvious, to declare it, because it's so easy to be distracted. It's so easy to be pulled in a million different directions. So to take a second to declare and assert the thing that you are focused on right now, I think it's a good thing to do. It's in our head. We know generally, vaguely, what we're focused on, but maybe it's worthwhile to put it on paper, to set it outside of yourself so that you can create a reminder of a sort. So Timizla says, right now I'm focused on getting into a new career. I'm focused on getting into a new career. So what does that look like? What does focus look like for you when you're thinking about, like, this is the main thing that I'm doing? Oh, the thing about focus that makes it difficult for me is what it requires me to exclude. There are things sort of, you have your peripheral vision, the things that are right outside the edge that can capture a little bit of your attention. So what does the focus exclude? And does the focus mean that we have to disregard something else that may have been important? So there is the difficulty of focus that just comes from the fact that we live in a very distracting world. There are a lot of different options that are invading our attention 24/7. But then there's also the things that we would not have regarded as a distraction before, but they just don't necessarily fit into our focus at the moment. So thinking about what you're focusing on and declaring what you're focusing on is an opportunity also to talk about what you're willing to exclude in the moment. And I hinted at this next part, the second part of the session. What constraints am I willing to embrace? That is the final prompt. We talked about what we're focused on. Now we want to think about what constraints are we willing to embrace? What am I willing to exclude? What am I willing to let stay outside of the range of my activity for the time being? I think the more specific the focus is, and the more narrow the focus is, the faster the progress you make. And, there's some difficult choices that are implied when you say that you're focused on a specific thing. So embracing a constraint is taking a realistic look at the resources that you have available and making intentional choices about how to invest them. I think the biggest thing is time and attention. We have our lives that are filled with obligations that are non-negotiable. We have to satisfy the needs of our survival. We have, relationships that are important that will require some time and attention in order to survive and thrive. Perhaps we have people who we are responsible to. So all those things, have a fixed position in your universe of activity. They're not going to be let go. But then there might be some other things, some negotiables that are not compatible with your focus at the moment. So what constraints am I willing to embrace? If you're changing careers, there may be 20 different directions you can go with the career. So the constraint would be, okay, let's focus on these 3 areas and get really good at this or pursue opportunities in this direction, and let the other things stay to the side for right now. Let me really focus on these things. Because, when there's so many different options, it almost makes you freeze. But if you can narrow down the options so that you can focus on them, it'll make the next step more clear. The constraint is an aid to focus. Focus and constraints, that's been the realm of our discussion today. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. This has been Morning Journal, and I hope to see you again real soon.